More migrants arrive in Italy after being rescued from another boat in the Mediterranean. The European Union will be holding an emergency meeting tomorrow to discuss ways to deal with the tide of migrants. Canadian journalist Mohamed Fahmy finally receives his Canadian passport from Ottawa, but his trial is delayed once again till next week. And investigators confirm that gas caused the huge house explosion in Scarborough on Monday, but still don't know how it happened. One person was killed in the blast and 40 homes were damaged. Hi, and welcome to Humber News. I'm Kendra Hamilton, coming to you from our newsroom here at Humber College North Campus. RCMP in Tisdale, Saskatchewan are investigating the deaths of a woman and 3 young children. Officers found the woman and children inside a home early this morning. Investigators say the deaths are being treated as homicides. They say the suspect, an adult male, was found dead later this morning in a home in Prince Albert. His death is not being considered a homicide. Police were responding to a complaint that the woman and her 3 children could not be reached. Here at home, investigators say they'll be combing through the wreckage of a Scarborough home layer by layer. The Ontario Fire Marshal has confirmed that the explosion that razed the home to the ground was gas-related. The explosion was caught on dash cam video as a nearby resident pulled from a garage on Brimley Road Monday afternoon. Neighbors say they heard a loud bang, looked out their windows, and the house was gone. Officials say the 57-year-old homeowner was killed in the blast. The fire marshal's office says crews found little fire damage in the debris, and although it can be confirmed gas caused the explosion, it's still unknown where it came from. Overseas, another boatload of migrants has landed in Sicily as Italy's Prime Minister presses the European Union to take action on the crisis in the Mediterranean. Italy's emergency response crews are overwhelmed by the number of people escaping conflicts in African countries. More than 900 migrants arrived in Sicily and at a port south of Rome in the last 2 days. The European Union has agreed to provide more money and equipment to patrol the seas. But Italy's Prime Minister says the EU needs to tackle human trafficking where migrants originate. It's believed almost 900 people died over the weekend when a boat capsized. To Cairo now, where it's been a day of mixed emotion for Mohamed Fahmy. The Canadian journalist's trial has been delayed yet again. However, Fahmy has a new piece of hope to hold on to, a Canadian passport. Fahmy was issued the temporary passport before his court case this morning. He says the Canadian ambassador to Egypt told him he will receive the permanent document from Ottawa in about a week. Fahmy's original passport was seized when he was arrested on terrorist-related charges in Cairo in 2014. He was convicted and spent over 400 days in prison before being released on bail in February. This morning, Fahmy and his colleague appeared back in court. The trial has adjourned until next Tuesday. French police have detained a man they suspect was planning a terrorist attack on churches in Paris. Officials announced today that they arrested a 24-year-old information technology student on Sunday. They also seized a car full of handguns and other weapons, bulletproof vests, and tech hardware. They arrested the man after he called for an ambulance. Police say they think he accidentally shot himself. Authorities say the man, who was known to them, they checked on him twice in the past 2 years because of concerns he was planning to go to Syria. The man is also suspected of being involved in the murder of a 32-year-old woman found in her car on Sunday. Turning to South Africa, the government is sending more troops to help end the wave of anti-immigrant violence happening in the country. It comes on the heels of the arrest of 11 men suspected of committing violence against foreigners. The men were held during a joint raid by Johannesburg police at a local hostel. So far, the anti-immigrant violence has claimed 7 lives in troubled spots in Durban and Johannesburg. The attacks have caused hundreds of people to leave the country. A storm that has lashed Australia's east coast for 3 days has been declared a catastrophe. The storm has destroyed houses, cut power to more than 200,000 homes, and caused millions of dollars in damage. 2 men and 1 woman have been confirmed dead, and another 3 people are missing. 3 hospitals are without power, and hundreds of schools were closed. It wasn't hard times for everybody, though. Surfers made the most of the high winds and enjoyed the opportunity to surf the normally calm waters inside Sydney Harbour. When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in the world of sports, and Celia Grimley will have your 3-day forecast.
It's a typical April in Toronto. We're going to get a bit of everything today. I'll have your full 3-day forecast coming up after the break.
We're going to take a short break, but before we do, today marks the 45th anniversary of Earth Day, a day used to spread environmental awareness, and NASA wants to celebrate with you. No matter where you are in the world, the Space Administration wants you to share pictures of your favorite places using the hashtag There's No Place Like Home. The annual event was first celebrated in 1970 and is now coordinated globally by the Earth Day Network. As of today, it is celebrated in more than 192 countries each year. Here in the city, we're celebrating the annual event with community cleanups and being asked to reduce our carbon footprint through daily activities like taking active transportation. And while you're gathered together to celebrate our beautiful blue planet, you might also want to take a look into the skies. This year's Earth Day will end with a meteor shower. Our planet will pass through a stream of debris from the comet Thatcher. As we cross the debris zone, flakes of comet dust will strike our atmosphere at 49 kilometers per second. The dust will appear as bright streaks of light in the night sky. The best time to catch the meteor shower will be between 11 p.m. until sunrise.